After 16 years and over 1,600 episodes, Peggy Mitchell, the First Lady of Albert Square, has left Walford.
Barbara Windsor is calling time on her life.
Virtually every character in Walford to go on, get out of my she'll be leaving the show next year.
As we say goodbye to the much-loved landlady, we look back at the defining moments that made her the nation's favourite.
I'm Peggy Mitchell. I'm Peggy Mitchell. I'm old East End. Old East End. You don't mess with me.
It's time to call last orders for the Queen of the Vic.
Last orders, please.
Peggy Mitchell, one of the biggest characters in TV history.
Here we go! Oh, to the Vic. The Mitchell's new home.
Peggy Mitchell is tough on the outside, soft on the inside.
Nice seeing you, Peggy.
Two-faced cow. Get stuffed!
The head of the family.
Well, as soon as my name's over that door, you'll be barred.
Small.
Everything about
Tough, no nonsense.
Ow, that hurts! She was all these things, but above all, she loved her boys.
Hello, Mum. Come with me.
In the early 90s, the Mitchells ruled the square with their own special wit and charm.
Phil and Grant Mitchell, typical East End boys, you know, they kind of had that status within the square. Cowabunga! Kings of all they surveyed. And we just thought it'd be fascinating to see, you know, one person in the world that could control these two boys.
If your brains were dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your axe off.
Come on. But in 1994, when the Mitchell brothers fell in love with the same girl, Sharon Gate exploded.
What about Phil? You slept with him, remember?
And there was only one person who could sort out this mess. Enter one Margaret Ann Mitchell, better known to you and me as Peggy.
Phil? Phil? You gonna tell me what happened?
Mum.
And once back, she sorted out the boys.
What's going on?
Oh, you dirty little sod.
Peggy was brought up in the East End, you know, like she said, East End proper.
Families always come first. You were taught that before you could walk. She was your sister-in-law.
It's finished with, Mum.
Family always comes first.
I'm all for keeping it in a family, but there are limits.
Got this image of her always holding the kids to her, to almost protect them as much as herself.
With the boys reunited, she set her sights on the family home, the Queen Vic.
Cheers.
And saved her warmest welcome for her daughter-in-law, Sharon.
I've been looking for you.
Oh?
I want a quick word, that's all.
That's the whole Mitchell thing is born of that. It's kind of Peggy and the kids against the world.
What about? Just about you being a two-faced lying little whore.
That's what everyone loves about Peggy, is she holds her ground regardless.
Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. If I catch you anywhere near my two sons, I'll kill you with my bare hands. Do we understand each other?
With the boys under her wing again, what she needed was a good man.
Peggy's got the worst taste in men ever. If they're a wrong un, she likes them.
But what she got was Frank Butcher.
A terrible woman come here.
He was charming.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Say it again.
He was sexy.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Yes, he
He was irresistible. But more importantly, he was Peggy's.
Will you take Peggy to be your wife and, forsaking all others, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live?
I will.
But Peggy's happiness didn't last long, as irresistible Frank proved too much for an old flame.
I love missed you, babe.
I know. I suppose we'd better get up before the others get back.
No. Come on, 5 more minutes, please.
It's really tough for Frank to work out. I mean, I don't know whether he loved Peggy more than Pat, Pat more than Peggy, whether he loved them both the same. I think, if I really had to choose where Frank's heart was, I think that it was with Pat.
With bad boy Butcher doing the dirty on Peggy.
Don't even think about it.
There was worse to come. Bonfire Night 2000.
That note I wrote to Peggy, telling her what we were doing, has gone missing.
Yes, the showdown, the post-affair, or the affair showdown, was quite a biggie.
Where have you been? I'm very cross with you.
Peggy sets them up.
There's something I'd like to read out to you.
The Pat slap and the Frank slap actually makes my jaw ache.
This came as a bit of a surprise.
Peggy, really, this.
Oh, there he goes again.
Combination punches, really, like a good boxer.
I'm leaving you. I've never quite been able to stop myself loving Pat.
I was there that day, and I know it was for real. Because you can't fake those ones like that.
Actually, my earring came off. And all I could think about was, what about continuity?
Hope you all enjoyed the fireworks. Good night.
Poor old Peggy's world crumbled as the man she loved left her life. But don't worry, because Frank will be back later. Now, Christmas is traditionally a bad time for the residents of Walford. And the Mitchells, well, they're no exception.
I just want a nice family dinner.
The moment she says that,
Ain't gonna be any trouble. You just take the kids upstairs.
there will be an argument.
Phil, you're out of order.
It's a good day for, creating havoc.
Oh, what, have I touched a nerve, have I?
Shut up! All of you!
There will be someone upset.
It's all right, baby. Listen, it's okay.
You know that people should be happy at Christmas.
That's right.
So we use that time sometimes to pull families apart against that backlot of Christmas because it makes it more heart-rending.
Look, the whole thing, it's ruined.
I'll be 5 minutes, Peggy.
10 years ago, when Peggy found herself alone with the turkey and abandoned by her family, she finally snapped.
I think Peggy smashing up the Vic was completely against everything that we thought Peggy was.
Peggy smashing up the Vic was really shocking. It showed what a mental state that she got into. I couldn't work out how she could reach up and get those optics up the top.
To watch her smash her own pub up, you were like, gosh, she's really in trouble now.
Wait, I've been waiting and waiting, and nobody came.
Christmas may have defeated her, but there was one fight she was never going to back away from.
Hey! I've got to go into hospital on Monday for an operation.
What sort of operation?
I've got breast cancer. Breast cancer. Breast cancer.
We saw the vulnerability at the heart of the East End girl.
Are you okay?
No. I'm still terrified. I could be clear for months. Years even. Doesn't matter what I do. It's gonna get me in the end. It's like a nightmare. And you never wake up. I'm so frightened, George. I'm terrified.
Of course you are.
What the story allowed you to do was allow Barbara to explore the more vulnerable side underneath that mask that she presents every day, and in so doing it make the character three-dimensional.
After an emotional battle, Peggy was given the all clear. She was down, but not out.
Well,
Everything's fine.
oh, Mum.
Chrissy Watts! Murder!
In 2005, it was business as usual as Peggy returned to help out her only daughter, Sam.
Did you kill the Den Watts? No. Chrissy.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be Chrissy Watts.
Peggy, this really isn't the time or place.
This is exactly the time and place to tell the whole world what a lying little tart she is.
It's Peggy, and Peggy has got to throw her in the grave. You know, there's not many characters you could do that with, and kind of it would feel so right.
Tell him. Tell us all before it's too late. Go on, get it off your chest. Do something right for once in your miserable little life.
But Peggy turning up at the funeral and giving it large.
Tell us what you did to him.
I think you'd only do that with a character like Peggy.
Tell him you're sorry.
Peggy, I've had enough of this.
I said tell him! Peggy, tell Dan you're sorry. Tell Dan!
After 15 years in Walford, Peggy's no stranger to funerals, and dear old Frank's is one that's bound to stick in her memory, probably because he wasn't dead.
Guess who's back?
Excuse me.
Back again. I'm the Shady's back.
Peggy, please.
Oh,
please.
I might flaming well know. I've come all this way to bury you. You could at least have the common courtesy to be dead when I get here.
Frank's resurrection was too much for Peggy, as she finally laid to rest the greatest love of her life.
What happened, eh?
You left me behind. The biggest shame of all. You could be the best husband in the old world if you just give yourself a chance and stop chasing goodness knows only what. Now, you take good care of yourself, darling. Let's go out.
For Peggy, a butcher is never far away, especially when Frank's ex-wife is your oldest friend.